Namaste students, I am JVN Dr. Aziz Mohammed Khan from Department of Food and Biotechnology, Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Science, Jyoti Vidyapith Women's University, Jaipur. Today I am going to discuss about the topic precipitation reaction and the subject name is immunotechnology. The topic is in continuation part of antigen antibody reactions and it is related to BTech ABT 12 trimester, BTech MTech ABT integrated 12 trimester. So the precipitation is the next part of antigen antibody interactions. So this is the one of the most important antigen antibody interaction. So what is the precipitation reaction? Precipitation reaction is the antigen antibody reaction when a soluble antigen interact with the antibody, and after interacting an antigen and antibody, they result in the formation of a precipitate. And the antibody which is involved in the formation of this precipitation is known as the precipitin. Okay, so antibody have important role in the formation of precipitation reactions. So in this precipitation reaction is mainly in used for the detection of a unknown antigen or unknown antibody. So there may be anything, and it is mainly used in the detection of serological analysis. Okay, it is used for the diagnostic tests, for the amount, for the quantitative analysis of antigen and antibody interactions. So how the precipitation takes place? For the precipitation, there are some characteristics which are necessary. So the precipitation is due to the formation of antigen and antibody. So first we require antigen and antibody. And the what should be the characteristics of antigen and antibody? As we know that antigen have some specific sites by which they can be identified, and these sites are known as the epitopes. Okay, so antibody antigen must have various epitopes, and they may be multivalent. Multivalent means they may have two or more epitopes. They must have two or more epitopes for precipitation reactions. Similarly, the antibody also must have bivalent agents. So what we understand by this multivalent and bivalent, I will draw here. So suppose this is antigen and these are some specific places with by which a, an antigen can be identified. Suppose this is an antigen. Okay, it is antigen, and this antigen is identified using these epitopes. Okay, these are the epitopes. So it is a multivalent. It is a multivalent antigen because it has three epitopes. Okay, so now we talk about the antibodies. Antibodies similarly must have bivalent. Bivalent means uh, suppose this is antibody and this antibody have this. If it has only one specific region, then it is just monovalent. Okay, but if it can identify the two regions, and it is known as the bivalent. Okay, so it is bivalent antibody. Okay, and two bivalent antibody will cross with three epitopes. Here only two antibodies can cross with three epitopes. Okay, so the antibody must be bivalent and antigen must be multivalent for formation of a precipitation reactions. When a, so what happens in this, when a particular concentration of antigen and antibody present, then there is a formation of precipitation reaction. So precipitation reaction takes place at a fixed concentration of antigen and antibody. When the antigen and antibody are equal to each other, okay, they can, and this precipitation reaction cannot occur when a concentration of antibody is lower or antibody concentration is lower. No, the quantity of antigen and antibody must be equal to each other for the formation of a precipitation complex. So here we can understand here, when a soluble antigen combines with antibody in the presence of electrolyte, means a NaCl, at a particular concentration, they form a precipitation complex. Okay. Suppose this is antigen, these are the antibodies, and these are the antigens. When the concentration of these two is equal, they lead to formation of this precipitation complex. And here we can say that the antibody is bivalent here, and antigen is bound by these antibodies. So this is another diagram in which first, when antigen and antibody concentration is not equal, they do not bind each other, and when the concentrations of antigen and antibody is not equal, they did not bind to each other, and when the concentration of antigen and antibody is equal, they formed a lattice. This is the lattice. Okay, this structure is known as the lattice. Okay, similar structure. So this is lattice structure. Okay, so precipitation reaction leads to the formation of lattice, and when this lattice is formed, then we can indicate that precipitation reaction has been completed. So the precipitation reaction takes place in two types of media. The first is in liquid media and the next is in gel media. So first we talk about the liquid media, precipitation in liquid. So for the precipitation in liquid, we can take five tubes in which we can add a fixed volume of antibodies. Okay, we can add fixed volume here. We can understand that. Uh, and we took five tubes, and in these five tubes, we added equal volume of anti serum. In which added equal volume of antibody. Suppose we have added uh, 10 ml. Okay, 10 microliter in each. Okay, in 10 microliter of antibody in each tube, and then we added antigens in increasing orders. Okay, suppose in these tubes we added 4, then we added 7 microliter, and then we added 10 microliter of antigen, then we added uh, 13 microliter, and then we added 16 microliter. Suppose, just for example, okay, we added 4, 7, 10 microliter, 13 microliter, and 16 microliter, but we added only 10 microliter of anti-serum in each tube. Okay, so antigen concentration is different in each tube. After some times, we observe a formation of lattice in only one tube, in which the concentration of antigen is equal to concentration of antibody, that is 10 microliter of antigen and 10 microliter of antibody. Okay, so when the concentration of antigen and antibody is equal, then there is a formation of antigen and antibody reaction, which results in the formation of lattice. Okay, this is the lattice. This is the lattice. Okay, so when this lattice is formed, we can say that the precipitation reaction is complete and the concentration of antigen is 10 microliter. Okay, the concentration of antigen is 10 microliter. So we use this experiment for the analysis of concentration of antigen. Okay, so when this 10 microliter of antigen interacted with antibodies, then we can conclude that the concentration of antigen is 10 microliter. Okay, so we can find out the amount of antigen using this precipitation reaction. So using this precipitation reaction, we got three regions. The first is zone of antibody axis, the zone of equivalence, and the zone of antigen axis. So in the first tubes, we added equal volume of antibodies. We added equal volumes of antibodies in each tubes, and in the starting tubes, we added small volume of antigens. So here the small volume of antigen. Okay, and so the volume of antibody is higher here and the volume of antigen is lower here. So this zone is known as the zone of antibody access, in which antibody concentration is higher than antigen. So this is the zone of antibody access. In this region, when the concentration of antigen and the concentration of antibody is equal, okay, the amount volume of antigen is equal and volume of antibody is equal. So this region is known as the zone of equivalence, and in this region we can say that there is a formation of lattice. In the next zone, when the antibody concentration is low but the antigen concentration and the volume of antigen is higher than antibodies, so in this region we can find that this is the zone with antigen access, in which antigen volume is higher than antibodies. Okay, so now we go to the precipitation in gel. In the precipitation in gel, there are two types of precipitation reaction. The first is in single direction and the other is in bidirectional. Okay, for precipitation in gel, we can use a gel in which the antigen and antibody can diffuse. Okay, so in a gel, antigen and antibodies can be diffused freely, and when the concentration of antigen and antibody is equal to each other, then there is a formation of lattice. Okay, which indicate the formation of precipitation reaction. So in this diagram we can understand that in the upper diagram, first we added a non volume of antibodies. Okay, then we added unknown volume of antigens. Okay, and when the concentration of antigen and antibody is equal, then there is a formation of antigen antibody complex we can find here. Okay, these are the precipitation ring. Okay, in where antigen and antibody bound to each other in equal proportion. So we can find that this is the radial immunodiffusion, which is in single direction. In the next picture, we added antigen and antibodies separately. Okay, and these antigen and antibody migrated to each other. Okay, they migrated in opposite directions. Okay, and when the concentration of antigen and antibody is equal to each other, they lead to formation of a precipitation ring. Okay, this is the formation of precipitation in the gel, which indicate that antigen and antibody have been interacted with each other, and this results in the formation of lattice and indicate the concentration of antigen or antibody in the gel. So here our topic is over here. In the upcoming lecture, we will discuss about the agglutination reaction. That is the next part of this antigen and antibody interactions. Thank you very much.